Bungie has began to issue warnings of suspicious activity and breaking the code of conduct. Now, these warnings are being sent out in mass to various different guardians and players of Destiny 2, which is warning you of using the exotic class item macro. So this is what it says on screen here. This is what a friend of mine received. Actually, it's not myself. I might have one when I log into the game. Right now the game's down, but we'll see. It says suspicious activity, code of conduct, all right, analysis of your recent activities, shows signs of automation, which would be using a macro of some kind, or skill augmentation, which could be a lot of different things. That's kind of a vague term. Skill augmentation could be, you know, using a Cronus Zen, using Cronus Zim for, you know, to reduce your recoil or increase some aim assist, stuff like that, or maybe even account recoveries potentially. Not entirely sure, but the individual here, I'm actually pretty good friends with him, and I asked him about his macro usage. And he said that he used a macro for the exotic class item maybe about 2 months ago. He hasn't used it in a very long time, but he was curious as to why it would even be sent to him. On top of that, he also did use a macro for the wishing wall many months ago. And outside of that, he hasn't used any macros inside Destiny 2. He doesn't use them for skating or things like that. Like, they're pretty common. And so he was issued this warning, and now we're going to go on to the next part here where he says, please refer to bungie.net/bans to understand Bungie's policies and code of conduct. So they're trying to push everyone to go to their website and review their new code of conduct that's in there. And then it says, further unusual activity may result in this account being banned. So you have to be mindful of that if you go any further with this, you could be banned. Now, it's obviously an interesting thing because, like you said, he hadn't done this in months, so it creates a weird kind of hysteria where it's like, hey, I haven't actually used a macro or anything in a while. You know, is the script that's running for it running in the background? Is that going to get me banned? Like, for example, like he said he hasn't used it in months. Like, there's no reason to lie if he has used it, right? And so, and it's going to be a pretty interesting thing to see what happens to those who have these macros running in the background, if that affects the game at all. I don't know that that's necessarily a thing. I just thought it was really weird that it says his recent activities led to this warning. And obviously this warning being issued is an important thing because a lot of people felt that during the recent issue and controversy with Leopard and how he was warned for using effectively using network manipulation and not given a ban, that it was only appropriate that Bungie give warnings to everyone beforehand, so that way people could actually have a chance to correct their actions before getting banned in Destiny 2 for life, which is obviously an unfortunate thing, especially if you've invested hundreds or thousands of hours into your account. And so now what they've decided to do is obviously issue basically a mass warning to everyone that used the exotic class item macro to let everyone know the terms of service have changed. Don't continue to use this. We will ban you. And so they've effectively given everyone a warning, just as they did to Leopard, although in kind of a different way. And obviously a mass warning is we'll see how well this actually, you know, pushes out this message to everyone. If everyone catches on, I'm sure there's going to be those that slip through the cracks, that skip past this message fast and continue to use the macro and get banned, unfortunately, or use other macros in Destiny 2 and get banned. This has obviously brought up a ton of questions about what will Bungie's approach be to using other macros, and Bungie has actually responded to this, and they said that they would actually be not banning the D2 checkpoint bots that use macros. They don't want to stop people from using those checkpoints. It obviously adds a ton of convenience to Destiny 2 players, but it obviously is a weird place to be at because, you know, that is technically using a macro still, so how exactly they're able to do that while others can't is kind of an odd thing. Bungie is kind of, you know, creating a rule and then creating an exception to the rule immediately. And I think it's a good thing, of course. I don't want to lose all the checkpoint bots in Destiny 2, but it is a very odd and a very interesting exception to that rule. And so let me know what you think about the situation down in the comments below with all the different warnings being sent out. Let me know if you actually received one of these, if you were using the macro or not. Obviously, not everyone will. And let me know the timeline by which the last time you used that macro. We'll bring you an update on the situation if we do see some bans issued by people continuing to use macros this week, or we'll see when Bungie actually does choose to enforce the update to their code of conduct here. That's a wrap on this one. Make sure to subscribe, smash the like button. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Later.